Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time watching this. Welcome back to another video about Darktide, although we're not necessarily playing Darktide at the moment. So, as you can see, the question is, what do we do with the veteran, right? Because the veteran is not doing so hot right now in terms of a lot of things. Now, I know that some other people have already made videos about this. I have not watched them because I am letting my unfiltered opinion radiate through to you and hopefully to Fat Shark, and to which they will help our Guardsman boy. Alright, so where does he sit? And once again, this video is completely unscripted. I've just written some notes and I'm going to yap and yap until I run out of ideas. Veteran is now the weakest class in the game, and I'm not just talking about numbers, because the veteran can still put out a good amount of damage, but in a very, sort of limited way, and we'll get into that. 2/3 of his abilities are borderline useless, and his Keystone leave much to be desired. Obviously, even a large sum of veterans don't take them in favor of other notes. And what that means, a lot of veterans play Keystoneless veteran, simply because the Keystones don't do enough to affect his gameplay to make them worth it, in terms of getting things like, faster weapon speed, or exhilarating takedown, more damage to bosses, this, that, the other. The auras. So here are the auras. The Vet's auras are survivalist. Probably the best one, in my opinion, simply because it's actually usable, especially in Havoc and whatnot, where ammo is such a stingy resource in Havoc. Restores 1% ammo and elite kill with a 5-second cooldown. Still, only 1% ammo. If you have 100 ammo in a gun, it's 10 ammo. If you have 10 bullets, it's 1 bullet. It varies on your weapon. But it's still usable on pretty much every weapon. Then you have Fire Team Drill, which I thought was way better than it actually was. I thought it was 10% damage to you and allies and coherency, but it's only 5%, which is pretty much nothing. Because really, the 5% increase of damage isn't going to change. Something that dies in 3 shots, still probably going to die in 3 shots. Something that dies in 1 shot, still going to die in 1. It's really this only really matters on you could argue Ogryns and monstrosities or the bosses or whatever, but even then the damage is so negligible. If it was 10%, then I'd be like, okay, I can see why you take this. Or maybe you'll just take it just because you want to take it. I mean, once again, I'm not saying you don't have to take these. This is just for the meta. And then Close Order Drill, which is, every time I look at it, I am bewildered at how bad it is. It's just 5% move speed, which is nothing. Right? I don't know if you've ever played with a Zealot. The 5%, you're not outrunning a Zealot, sorry. Not even outrunning a Psyker doing the dueling swords, right? Why use this when you can just do the dueling sword cheese of where you charge the heavy and you get a little dash forward, right? Or just use a knife where you'll run a little faster if you really care about movement. And then the abilities, Voice of Command, the good one, it's toughness, it's knockdown. If you take that one note, it can revive people who are knocked. Although people don't tend to take that one. I take it because I like it, but generally people don't. It's a pretty big aura if you don't take the revive node. Executioner Stance, this is the one that gives your... Now this one is... Executioner Stance is a bit of a double-edged sword in my opinion. Double-edged sword implies that as a negative. It's almost good, because it gives you increased damage by a sizable amount. It gives you faster fire rate, easier spread, better handling, less sway, all that. Just makes shooting really, really good. Which is really good for guns like the Recon Lash gun, stuff like that. It's really good for that. But then it's just kind of it's just a little bland. I believe I'm exiting out of the slideshow, so jump scare. I don't believe it. Does it reload? Yeah, no, it does. See, back in the heyday, back in my day, this used to reload you. Volley fire used to reload your gun, and it would give you toughness back. So it was used as a bit of a tank thing. But obviously they took that off and put it in voice command. If this reloaded your gun, it'd be better. But the fact it doesn't is crazy to me. But 25% range damage and weak spot damage, that's essentially 50% increased damage. Is actually really good, and so. But the issue with it is that it's got these tax nodes that are completely useless. outlined elites and allies, that's like usable, right? So allies can see it. But like human-sized ranged enemies, outlined bigger. If it was more damage to outlined enemies, I could see the reason why you take these. But there's no reason to take these unless you just want to throw points to the wind. So 2 out of 3 of the add-ons for this node are pretty much like useless, right? Compared to voice command, which is like 50% toughness for 15 seconds that can exceed maximum toughness. Or revive knockdown allies. Even the stealth one, which I think is like the worst one in the game, it has like 50% toughness when leaving stealth, 30% damage when leaving stealth, right? 90% threat on leaving stealth is ass, but it's just these two are completely useless. And then infiltrate, which is stealth. As I said, stealth is bad. In this game, stealth is pretty much useless. The Zealot gets better use out of it than the Veteran, because at least the Zealot has cooldown reduction built into their kit, so they can like stealth a lot more than the Veteran. And it's just bad. The nodes are bad. The tree path is bad. It just feels bad to go. There's almost no reason why you would go stealth unless you're just doing like double barrel shotgun and like knife build for fun. It's just a for fun rune that's not even like that fun because it's bad. And don't even get me started on the visual clutter that happens when you use it. I don't know if you've ever like went stealth when the stim is active, but you just can no longer see. And then the Keystones. Marksman focus, focus target, weapon specialist. Marksman focus, headshots give you a stack. Stack gives you increased damage. You lose it when you walk. This is... Let me go back. Let me use this. It's range, finesse, strength, and reload speed. Up to 70%. Something like that. For the range, finesse, speed. That's like crit damage, headshot damage, stuff like that. The thing with this is that it's okay on a few weapons. It's good on his automatic weapons because it can stack the stacks really quickly. But using this on this is clearly intended to be the sniper rune, but on the semi-automatic weapons he has being like the revolver, the bolter, although I'm just using this as an example, aiming down sight with the bolter, bolt pistol, the contrail powder lasguns, the hellbore lasguns. It just doesn't stack fast enough for this to be usable on those. So you use it on the recon, you use it on the auto gun, yada yada. And it's okay, but the only thing is compare this to something like Heavy Hitter, where the Ogryn the only thing the Ogryn has to worry about is a timer. If this was changed to a timer, I think it would be way better than what it is now. I know that hitting range weak spots kills will let you move for 6 seconds, but between hordes, this isn't. It's useless. It takes too long to stack to be valuable, unless you're shooting a Plague Ogryn, and then that's okay. It's pretty easy to hit headshots on the Plague Ogryn, but it's just generally not that useful. But if they made it like a cooldown, like the Ogryn, or range weak spot hits just restore the current cooldown. So if how on the Ogryn where light attacks, used to light attacks would just refresh the cooldown. Now obviously Ogryn can stack them on lights. Or Disrupt Destiny, or what's that Psyker one? Yeah, Disrupt Destiny, where it's you get the stacks off of enemies, or Empowered Psychonics, where killing elites gives you a stack. If it was something like that, I think it'd be better. But the fact that it's got such a finicky cooldown, I guess, or way that it disappears, really just kind of meh. And then obviously we have Focus Target, which is okay. It's all right, kind of. It's bad, but it's all right. It's so off base. You're pretty much always going to take these two if you do take it. It gives you a stack every 2 seconds, up to 5 times, and they take 4% additional damage for each stack. So that'd be 20% additional damage, which is not a substantial amount for a Keystone. And the issue is that it takes 10 seconds to get, or up to 16 seconds. Sorry, math in my head. for what it would be 25, 30, like what, 35% basically. Sorry, I'm doing math in my head. Yeah, it'd be 32% damage. Like, I feel like the base should be 8, and then it'd be good. Like, and then target down, it's okay, I guess. Not really useful, because like really the stamina, I guess, is nice, but like stamina's not much of an issue in this game nowadays. But like, why would you take target down if you have voice of command? It does the same thing but better. Or redirect fire is, once again, it takes too long to use and only lasts 10 seconds, which is not that long. And then it's just sort of a nothing burger of a keystone where I'm like, they should just, this is one of those things where I'm like, oh, if they just adjusted the numbers, I think it'd be better. But yeah, it's just kind of a meh keystone. And then weapon specialist was definitely the best one. It's TLDR. It's a lot of reading. Using your gun improves your melee. Using your melee improves your gun. Pretty simple. And then there's the keystones, which are nice, which is like, oh, activating range specialist restores your ammo. Activating melee gives you stamina back. And then these other ones. These 3 down here aren't that used often. 20% reload speed on range specialist. 25% stamina cost reduction for these. These 3 aren't useful. These 2 are good. These 3, I don't know if people ever really run them. But yeah, these 3, whatever. These 2, good. And having ammo is always nice. And, well, even this one was like, this one's better than this one. This one's not as good. This one is the best out of all these. So you really just would, honestly, probably would want to take this one. Just so it keeps your ammo up, especially on like guns like the plasma gun, which have a really long reload, or the bolter, which also have a really long reload. But yeah, if you're going to take any keystone, you'd probably be taking weapon specialist and always prepared at least. But like, even if you don't, that's like a couple nodes you can put into like getting onslaught, apply brittleness, as well as exploit weakness, or competitive urge, rending strikes, Also, shock trooper, rework this. Make it so crits don't consume ammo on every weapon. Then we'll be talking about it. Ogryn gets to have that with Lucky Bullet. Why doesn't the veteran? Anyway, next slide. I'll just click it, whatever. As I've been saying for the past however many minutes, veteran lacks an identity in this tree. He's a very generic character. Nothing really sets him apart from the rest of the cast from a gameplay experience. With a lot of talent taxed on his tree and some nodes that leave much to be desired, he's been turned into basically a walking plasma gun in the eyes of the meta. You're going to be spamming frag grenades and plasma shots, especially in high-level Havoc. And once again, I didn't really mention it in my slides at all, but let me actually go to his grenades real quick. Let me... Crack grenade, completely, utterly useless. It's going to kill one enemy. Now, I've had it kill a few enemies that are stacked on top of each other, but the odds of that happening is very low compared to just throwing 3 frag grenades into a crowd and watching them all bleed to death and get knocked over. Smoke grenade, I don't even need to talk about it. And I won't. I won't talk about it. It's so bad. Like, not only is it bad, but the tree beneath it is also bad. So it's just, like, this doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. I've never had a moment where I'm like, ah, yes, smoke grenade has saved my life. No. If there's a gunner line, throw a frag grenade at it. Is there a sniper in range? Shoot it with a plasma gun. Is there crushers coming at you? Throw a frag grenade. Is there any problem in the universe coming at you? Throw a frag grenade. Crack grenades aren't even good on monstrosities because they don't magnetize the monstrosities. You actually have to hit it, and sometimes that can be harder, easier said than done. Especially if you got like a million ragers on. Got a million ragers on you? Frag grenade. Also, these got nerfed because ragers, certain ragers are now carapace armor. So this will sometimes eat the thing for the crusher you're trying to kill. Or the reaper, or the bulwark. Like, why take crack grenade when you could just run frag grenade and plasma gun? All your Ogryn carapace enemies will melt away under the heat of blue Gatorade. That's what they use to fuel plasma gun, by the way. But it's blue Gatorade. Not the sugar-free one. Although I prefer the sugar-free one. Anyway. Now, a way to supplement the identity of the veteran is him being... He is a guardsman, right? They are guardsmen. They're, Cadian born, or, sometimes, depending. So, like, one thing you could do is give more unique weapons to the veteran. Because the veteran hasn't gotten a new weapon since what? Release. And by a new weapon, I mean a new unique weapon, that is. So, it just, once again, like, Meltas, hotshot las guns, there's long las, a myriad of other, there's so many guardsman weapons you can do to supplement his identity, but that'd be a band-aid, it wouldn't be a fix. Because once again, the identity is the treat. He was like, let's take a look at the Ogren, right? Let me, Ogren, right? So the Ogren, all three of his paths say he is a big boy, right? He's the largest lad. But let's look at the difference. We have the charging the enemy. This guy gets in the fight and he's swinging around and he's killing everything and he's unstoppable, right? That unrelenting momentum. And then we have loyal protect. He's protecting the little ones. He's a bodyguard. He sticks to the team and he's like, nah, no one's getting through my team. If they want to get to my psyker, they have to get through me. And boy, is that a big wall to go through. And then even on his weakest one, this point blank barrage, it's like, oh, he's laying down fire. This is the heavy weapons expert, heavy weapons guy coming in. He's killing everything. Everything's dying before him in waves. You would not want to be the guy on the other side of a trench line to this guy. That's for sure. And then let's take a look at the Psyker. Okay, venting shriek. Oh, he's screaming. He's shouting. He's like, get off me. He's pushing people down. It's a force push. He's like, get off me. Get away from me. I banish you. Get out of here. Or you have Telekai and Shield. He's protecting you. He's like, okay, I'm using my psychic power for the benefit of my team, right? And then we have Scar's Gaze. Like, I'm literally going insane. I'm using my psychic powers to improve my killing ability, right? And then even on his Blitz, right? He's you're not respecting the pouch. Your head gets exploded. Smite, oh, he's Emperor Palpatine. He's locking down the enemy. He's like, oh, no one's going anywhere without my permission. With Assail, it's like, oh, you better hope you're behind cover. Oh, too late. My knives have already found you. Right? These things help with the identity, and we go back to, because once again, these are all good. These are all usable. Assail, not as good as it used to be. We all remember on release Assail, but it still serves a purpose. It's a good horde clearing weapon. It even can deal with snipers because it's got the aim down sight version. And then we go back to, and then the Zealot. Do I need to say, right? Like, oh, I'm charging into the enemy. I'm a religious fanatic. I don't need to worry about my own safety. I'm just getting in there. The Emperor will protect me. Like, oh, I'm preaching the words of the Emperor to protect my allies from corruption, right? And I'm repulsing the enemy because they're so afraid of his power, the anathema. And then Infiltrate's like, oh, the Emperor's hiding me from my enemy. Even if I disagree that, Shroudfield should be in the game, but I digress. Or once again, the identity. It's a stealth assassin. He's got throwing knives. Oh, the religious, preacher. He's got cleansing flame. Or the guy who's like, oh, I'm gonna throw a stun grenade because I'm gonna get in there and stab you to death with a chainsaw. Right? These are all tangible, feelable identities. Even on Veteran or Zealot, who's got a very, very strict sort of talent tree. And then you go to Veteran, it's just like, where's your identity, bro? Okay, sort of a leader, a commissar, cool. A shooter guy, okay. And kind of a stealth guy, but where's the things that benefit stealth? I mean, everything benefits shooting. It's the Veteran, of course. Voice of command is really the only unique one. It's like, oh, you shoot slightly better. You're a Veteran. You're already shooting better. Okay, voice command, you're a commissar. I get it. Yeah, you're a commissar. You're like, hey, get up. No one dies until I say so. You have to have permission to die. Infiltrate. Oh, I get it. It's like Gon's ghost. He's sneaking in. Where's the? Sorry, wait. What helps supplement the stealth? What helps sort of feed that identity? Oh, he's got 90% threat and leaving stealth. Oh, okay. Cool. Still going to get ran at by Ragers. And see, the thing is, right, back in my day, once again, when the dinosaurs walked the earth, this was a passive, not an active passive, right? Or not an active. If they want stealth to be in the game, it's on 2 of the classes, they need to supplement it in some way. I think for Zealot, it's definitely way more supplemented because you have, you know, a bunch of cooldown reduction built into the class itself. So like crits will reduce cooldowns and stuff. But for Veteran, he doesn't get any of that. He doesn't have anything that really reduces his cooldown that I can remember. Let me just run through real quick, see if I can see anything. No, not really. No. Nope. No. This is a good perk though. Leave no one behind. No. Yeah, I'm starting to think no. So it's raises the question of like where's the identity? So we'll go to the next slide. What should be done? Well, the main problem lies in the abilities. The main thing a class can do to affect the match, as we mentioned, like the bull charge, the telekine shield, the book from the zealot, right? The shout. Marksman stance needs changes, lackluster add-ons, with one of them being completely useless, with highlighting Ogryns. Never had the issue of seeing an Ogryn. And you may be thinking, oh, but isn't the highlight important? Well, no, the highlight doesn't increase. It's not increased damage to highlight enemies. It's increased damage to you. You get increased damage. So what they should do: get rid of this. Make this. Just get rid of these 2. Replace them. Maybe like this one. Reload your gun, right? Or maybe gives you refunds some ammo, like 10% ammo, so you have like infinite ammo. Technically, or and make this like. Your weapons have 100% more pierce or whatever. Will ignore enemy hit mass or something. I don't know. I just work here. Alright. And Infiltrate either needs to be replaced or make stealth gameplay actually viable to more things that aren't just the ability itself being like, oh, I'm sneaky, I'm invisible. Like make give the veteran the ability to run while crouching, and while crouching the veteran's threat radius is like shrunk to a pin, right? And then like when they shoot, it sort of like expands out a little bit, but if they don't shoot, like sort of like a guerrilla tactics sort of thing where like, okay, he shot a bit, the enemies are aware of him, oh, but he's back under cover, he's crouch running around cover. Where's he now, right? Just sort of stuff like that to help make the stealth gameplay feel viable. And they're like, oh, the enemies have found me, I gotta go invisible, I'm out of here, I'm gone. And then maybe give like a node where like nearby allies also get cloaked, right? Now you can maybe see that, oh, that's like can definitely break the game, but like, no, maybe have it like the downside is like it also reduces your coherency or something like that when or I don't know. I just work here, all right? I'm just asking for things, okay? And yeah, and then the TLDR of it all is the veteran is not only the weakest class at the moment with very few viable loadouts, basically just being the plasma gun and frag grenade spamming, but also the most lacking identity, especially as we're getting more classes with a set identity, i.e. the RBDs. So one thing I have always said, and it was one of my main things, like, you know, whether it be on stream or in someone's comment or in my Discord, someone's always like, oh, they should add like a hive ganger or a ratling or a this, that, the other. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. But how would you differentiate from a gameplay standard that, what's the difference between the veteran and a ratling? Like, what would be the main difference be? They'd both be like guardsmen, essentially, just shooter guys. Or like, what would be the main difference between a hive ganger and, you know, the veteran knife build? You know, the veteran was, in my head, the veteran was like, oh, it's a one-size-fits-all sort of thing. And in my mind, I was like, oh, they aren't, since I've heard before they aren't going to add new classes, they probably should add new trees. What would the main difference be? And I was like, oh, instead of adding like a hive ganger or something like this, they should add like a tech priest or a Skitari or something like that. But now, as they've been, Fat Shark was like, hey, we are actually going to add new classes. It has dawned on me that, like, okay, how does veteran stand out as they add these new classes? the opposite problem has formed? And the answer is he doesn't. So not only does he need new veteran unique weapons with stuff like, as I mentioned earlier, hotshot lasguns, but also just needs a full makeover to help him actually stick out among the 4 of the classes who have very strong identities. And I'm just talking about gameplay-wise. Obviously, personality-wise, the veteran has personality to sell on the street for cash. He has so much personality, and the veteran is like such a, not only one of the main 4 classes, but it is such a important part of the Warhammer power fantasy of like, oh, this is a fucking guardsman, baby. He needs to have like something that makes him sticks in the ground, like, I'm fighting for the goddamn emperor, and I'm gonna kill you for him, you know. And that's pretty much it. That's my unhinged, unscripted rant about the veteran. If you made this far in the video, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, or don't. I'm not your mother, but you better brush your teeth. Now have a good one. Bye bye.